And we are live. Good evening po sa lahat mga kaguro and welcome back to our YouTube channel, also to our Facebook page. If you are watching us on Facebook, please don't forget to like our video and share our video and also tag your friends. And you may also start a watch party. If you are watching us naman on YouTube, please don't forget to like this video. You can also find us on all other social media accounts. You can see that on your screen right now. But of course, tonight we are going to have our discussion of Gen Ed. This is going to be your Gen Ed discussion, 20 items. But before that, let us all start with our opening prayer.
Lord God, salamat po sa oras na ito na binigay niyo muli sa amin. Sa pagkakataon, Panginoon, salamat po sa maraming mga pagpapala at proteksyon na dulot mo sa bawat isa sa amin. At Panginoon, kami po ay humihingi ng inyong paggabay muli sa amin pong gagawin sa oras pong ito. Sana po ay marami po kaming matutunan sa mga leksyon na aming aaralin po ngayon. Patuloy po nawa na tulungan mo po kami sa aming mga pangarap, Panginoon. Ibinibigay po namin ang lahat po sa inyo, Panginoon, dahil ikaw po ang nagsabi na kung kasama ka namin sa lahat ng pagkakataon ay tunay nga po na magtatagumpay po kami. Kaya Ama, sana po ay mapakinggan mo ang mga hiling po namin na ito. I-bless mo po ang family ni Ma'am Meg, ni Sir Ram, maging ang mga pamilya din po namin, Panginoon. Dalangin ho namin ang buong bansa namin, buong mundo na nakakaranas pa po sa pandemic. Sana po ay bumuti na ang kalagayan po namin, O Diyos. Naniniwala po kami sa inyo sa mga pangako mo sa bawat isa sa amin. Salamat po sa Panginoong Jesus na nagdulot po sa amin ng pag-asa sa buhay po na ito. Ama, ito po ang aming dalangin sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen.
Amen. All right, and of course, we welcome back the members of our Team Gardener. If you are a member of Team Gardener, please don't forget to like this video, share this video, tag your friends, and start a watch party. Kung ikaw naman ay member ng ating Team Erickson, ganun din po yung inyong gawin, no? Mag-share po ng ating video, mag-tag po ng inyong friends, and of course, like this video, start a watch party if you are watching us on Facebook. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can still become a member of our Gurong Pinoy teams. There's Team Gardner, and of course, there's also Team Erickson. You can find all the details on your screen right now. You can pay us through Palawan, Cebuana, ML, PayPal, Metrobank. There's Super Chat, and of course, there's GCash. If I'm talking too fast, then you can just send us a message to our Facebook page. And of course, what you have, or what is the advantage of being a member of Gurong Pinoy teams, is that you are going to have the chance to join our major exams. You can also answer our quizzes. Those things that I'm going to discuss right now is part of the quizzes that they've just answered this morning, this day. And of course, you can also have a copy of all the materials that I'm using. Okay, so if you'd want to have a copy of all the materials that we have, including the discussion, including the rationale, then you should become a member of Gurong Pinoy team. Okay, again, please do send us a message to our Facebook page. Now, kakatapos lamang po ng ating mid-review exam, part 2. And of course, we'd like to congratulate all our top-notchers. Congratulations po sa lahat ng mga top-notchers natin for mid-review exam part 2. Again, if you'd want to be able to answer all of these major exams that we have, including your final coaching na magiging libre po sa lahat ng ating Gurong Pinoy team members, ay magpa-member na po kayo. Just send us a message to our Facebook page. Okay. Now, we also have our CSE Course. This is an online civil service review program. You can learn 24/7 anywhere through video, through the discussions using videos. And of course, there's unlimited practice tests. There's only 1,000 pesos of payment for the first 50 students. So mag-enroll din po kayo sa ating CSE Course. If you know someone who's going to take the CSE, the civil service exam, please do tell them that we have our online civil service review program. Now, you can also support us by becoming one of our supporters. There's a button very near your chat box. Nandyan po sa inyong Facebook. Nandyan din po sa button na sa ating homepage sa ating Facebook page. You can become a supporter and you can receive also our exclusive content, exclusive videos, and we also have exclusive meetings. Now, you also can support Guru Pinoy by sending us your stars. We still have our stars goal of 5,000 stars. Please do send us your stars. Please support Guru Pinoy. And you can also send us your super chat, super stickers whenever we go live on YouTube, just like that, right now. No? So again, these are the things that you can do so that you can support Guru Pinoy. But of course, tonight, we are going to have general education 20-item discussion. If you are a member of our Guru Pinoy teams, you are going to receive your copy of this uploaded in your group. And of course, the copy will include this PowerPoint presentation as well as all the discussion that we are going to include in this presentation. Another thing, these are all part, the items here were all part of your mid-review exam part 2. Okay, so parte po ito ng inyong mid-review exam part 2. Okay, we start. If you are ready, please do like our video. Start a watch party, tag your friends. We are going to start if you are ready. Sige po, mag-send na po kayo ng inyong stars. Mag-like na ng ating video, mag-share ng ating video, and of course, please do start a watch party so that we can reach out to more people. Okay, go ahead and like our video, start a watch party, tag your friends, do send us your stars because we still have our stars goal of 5,000 stars. Okay, like our video. All right, we start with general education question number 1. This is part of English. What is the significance of an Oxford comma? Is it letter A? It is used to join a dependent and an independent clause. Letter B, it is a final comma in a listing of items. Letter C, it is a type of comma used by individuals in the UK. Or is it letter D? It is used to join two dependent clauses. What's your answer for question number 1? Maraming salamat, Ma'am Teacher Jo, for sending us your super sticker. Thank you so much po. What's your answer for question number 1? Number 1 na po tayo. What's your answer? Question number 1, general education. This is part of English. Thank you so much, Ma'am Christine Ango, for sending us your stars. Good evening po sa inyong lahat watching from Cebu. Maraming salamat. Maayong gabi. Thank you so much for sending us your stars. All right, please go ahead and send us your answer for question number 1. Okay, I see some of you answering letter B, may D. Karamihang sagot ay letter A. Some more answers, please. Now, before I forget, all of you are members of Gurung Pinoy team. I am also going to send you a copy of this, a copy of our mid-review part 2 after this weekend. Okay, so pagkatapos po ng weekend na to, I will be sending you your copy of mid-review part 2. Okay, now karamihang sagot dito ay letter A. Others are answering letter B. All right, correct answer here for number 1, the significance of your Oxford comma is letter B. It is the final comma in a listing of items. Okay, so final comma lamang siya sa listing of items. Usually when we're writing, we're not using an Oxford comma, but an Oxford comma is actually very important. It's very significant because it makes your sentence clearer. Okay, for example, if you have this, if you are talking about your party list or your party guest list, for example, okay, so and you're talking about the things or the people that you've invited for your party, you may say my parents, Thomas and Samantha. But if you are just saying my parents, Thomas and Samantha without using an Oxford comma here, remember your Oxford comma is the last comma in your list. If you don't have your Oxford comma here, it might be misinterpreted as your parents are named Thomas and Samantha. Okay? So maaring ganyan yung maging interpretation ng na mga makakakita ng sinulat mo, no? It does not really matter when you're talking because you can just you cannot see your commas when you're talking. But if you are reading something tapos wala siyang Oxford comma dito, that means your parents, their names are Thomas and Samantha. Okay, so it might be misinterpreted as that. But if you are using your Oxford comma, then it becomes clear. If someone would ask you, where's your guest list? And it's written there that's your part of your guest list are my parents, that's your parents, Thomas and Samantha. That means there are four different people there. Okay, so again, your Oxford comma is actually making your sentence clear. Okay, it defines the different parts of your list. Okay, so again, that's your Oxford comma. That's the last comma in your sentence. Another term for your Oxford comma is serial comma. Okay, so it's also called your serial comma. So that means, again, letter B is the correct choice. Unang tanong pa lang, sabi ni Sir Young Servant, ligwak na. No? Unang tanong pa lamang daw, iligwak na. Okay lang po yan, bawi po tayo. All right, we go to number 2. Which statement is false about the associative property? Is it letter A? It only works for subtraction. If you turn the subtraction problem into an addition problem. Letter B, it states that no matter how you group the terms in an addition or subtraction problem, you will obtain the same answer. Letter C, it states that no matter how you group the terms in an addition or multiplication problem, you will obtain the same answer. Or letter D, it does not work for division. What's the answer for question number 2? Number 2, what's your answer? Please send me your answers for question number 2. Ligwak. Maraming ligwak, no? Yung mga sumagot ng letter A ay naligwak. Okay, go ahead and send me your answers for question number 2. What do you think is the correct answer for number 2? We would like to welcome Sir Omar Bin Katab, new member of Guru Pinoy team, Team Erickson. Welcome po. And happy learning with Guru Pinoy. All right, what's your answer? I can see a lot of letter B's. Maraming letter B's. Dahil kaya letter B ang sagot sa number 1, kaya marami na namang nag-letter B ngayon. We will find out. Okay, letter B. Marami din namang letter C. May ilang letter A. All right, correct answer for number 2. We are looking for a statement that is false for your associative property. Okay, associative property. The correct answer here, the false statement is, of course, letter B. Okay, so tama po yung letter B. It states that no matter how you group the terms in an addition or subtraction problem, you will obtain the same answer. Now remember, we're looking for the false statement. Letter A is correct. Okay, it only works for subtraction if you turn the subtraction problem into an addition problem. So that means yung subtraction problem mo, ginawa mo siyang addition. Okay, we all know that subtraction and addition are reverse process sila or inverse processes. Letter C, it states that no matter how you group the terms in an addition or multiplication problem, you will obtain the same answer. Letter D, it does not work for division. And so A, C, and D are all correct. Correct answer for this case here, because we're looking for the false statement, that is the letter B, because of course we know that your associative property is only applicable for your addition and multiplication. Okay, so yung letter B mo, sabi, it states that no matter how you group the terms in an addition or subtraction problem, you will obtain the answer or the same answer. That means this part right here is wrong. Okay, it is not applicable for your subtraction. No? Hindi siya po pwede sa subtraction. Dito, kahit may na-state na subtraction, pero sabi kasi, you turn your subtraction problem into an addition problem. So po pwede na siya dahil addition na yung inyong naging process. But right here in your letter B, hindi po siya po pwede dahil subtraction, wala pong associative property yung subtraction. And so here, we see in our slide that your associative property, again, is only applicable for your addition and multiplication, not for subtraction and division. Okay, so sabi ng associative property mo, you can group the numbers in any combination. Your answer would still be the same, provided that your process, your operation is addition and multiplication. Okay, so that's your associative property. Only applicable for addition and multiplication. Grade 3 problem yata to, no? Or grade 4, grade 5 question yata to. So again, as I have mentioned before, marami pong lumalabas na question galing from your elementary level na books, no? So magbasa po ng elementary level na books. If you have kids, yung kanilang mga modules would also help a lot, no? Yung mga meron kayong mga tuties, meron kayong mga tinutulungan, meron kayong mga tinuturuan, marami po silang kinukuhang question from your elementary books. Okay? So this is an elementary question actually. I cannot remember what grade, no? Pero we did not learn this anymore when we were in high school, no? Kung maaaring sa high school ni-review na lamang, but this was introduced in our elementary years. Okay, so again, that's letter B for question number 2. Number 3, what is the most common type of online reference that is used in academic writing? Is it letter A, ebooks, letter B, online scholarly journals, letter C, blogs, or letter D, online magazines? What's the answer? Again, please do send us your stars. We still have our stars goal of 5,000 stars, and I believe we are still not halfway through our stars goal. Ganon din po sa ating super chatters, super stickers. Mag-send din po kayo ng inyong super chat, super stickers when you are watching us or if you're watching us on YouTube. Maraming salamat po. Ma'am Rachel Suwan, maraming salamat for sending us your super sticker. Thank you po, ma'am. Okay, what's your answer for number 3? Again, number 3 na po tayo, mga kaguro. Okay, this is part of your English still and also part of your research. Okay, what is the most common type of online reference that is used in academic writing? Okay, a lot of you are answering letter B. Meron din namang letter C. Some more answers, please. Go ahead, send us your answers. What's your answer for question number 3? This is still Gen Ed. These were part of your mid-review 2. Maraming salamat, Ma'am Enilim JMCS, for sending us your stars. Thank you po. All right, question number 3. What is the most common type of online reference that is used in academic writing? Okay, so of course, you all know, when you say online reference, ito yung mga kinukuha natin sa internet, no? And ito yung mga ginagamit natin as part of our references, as part of our bibliography, no? Whenever we make or we do online not online writing, academic writing, like such as your thesis. Again, it's thesis, not thesis. Your dissertation if you're already taking your PhD. Okay? Now, your choices are the following. Meron kang ebooks dito. Meron kang online scholarly journals. Again, this is pronounced as journals. Hindi po journals. It's journals. Journals. So you have ebooks, you have online scholarly journals, there's blogs, and there's online magazines. Correct answer here, of course, would be letter B. That's online scholarly journals. Okay, so scholarly journals, no? That's your hint here. Scholarly, that means ito yung mga ginagamit talaga. These are part of the writings that were part of their research projects, no? So research activities that were placed online, that were uploaded online. That's your online scholarly journals. So ito usually ginagamit natin as online reference. Please do not use Wikipedia, no? Wag po tayong gumamit ng Wikipedia because anyone can just edit Wikipedia. Po pwede po mag-edit ng Wikipedia kahit sino, no? So minsan hindi credible yung mga nakasulat sa Wikipedia. Okay, so if you are doing your research, your thesis, your dissertation, what you'd use as part of your online reference would be your online scholarly journals. Your ebooks is just a book that is software in software form, no, soft copy form. Your online magazine is just like your magazine that is also in soft copy form. Of course, your blogs, ito yun naman yung mga katulad siya ng vlogs mo, no? Vlogs mo as the ones that you put on Facebook, but this time this is just written. Okay, so written lamang po yung blogs. Para siyang documents, para siyang diary that you put online. Okay, so all these are online. Your books is just on your ebooks are just online books. Your blogs are just online diary form, and of course, your online magazines are just online magazines. Okay, just magazines that were placed in soft copy form that were placed on the internet. Okay, so usually ngayon wala na masyadong nagbabasa ng hard copy, no, ng hard copy ng printed magazines, na printed na libro, meron na kasing online. Okay? So, but here, number 3, correct choice here would be letter B, online scholarly journals. That's the correct choice. Now, we go to number 4. For the number 845.918, what is in the tens place? Is it letter A, 4, letter B, 5, letter C, 8, or letter D, 9? What's the correct choice? What's the correct answer for number 4? Sabi ko na, ko na ba? Sabi ni Sir Mark Hosol. Sabi ko na nga ba, no? Remember, I've always been telling you, your first choice would usually be the correct choice. So don't change your first choice unless you have a very valid reason. Again, maraming salamat, Ma'am Annie Lim, JMCS, for another batch of stars. Thank you so much po for sending us your stars. Sir Blue Palencia, na-miss natin Sir Blue, no? Maraming salamat po for supporting Guru Pinoy by sending us your stars. Thank you so much for all the star senders. And of course, for also our super chatters, maraming salamat po. Okay? You can still send us your stars and super chat. What's your answer for number 4? Ito, no? Elementary grade level na naman yung question na ito. Okay, elementary grade na naman to, no? So this has been introduced to us, might be grade 2, grade 3, no? Meron na po tayong place value, partition ng place value. So dapat alam nyo na yung sagot in this question. Okay, what do you think is the answer for question number 4? For the number 845.918, what is in the tens place? Tens. Okay, not the tens place, pero may TH po tayo dyan. Tens place. Okay? Many people are answering D. Also, many people are answering letter A. Merong ibang letter C. Aba, si Ma'am Monawara. Sabi ni Ma'am Monawara, women instinct is always correct, Char. Share ko lang. Wow, nagpa-party pa si Ma'am Monawara. Partying while reviewing. Okay? Alright, sa mga na-late po, habol-habol. Si Ma'am Marjorie S. Ode, na-late, no? Habol po tayo. It's okay. Alright, a lot of you are answering letter D. Let's find out. Correct answer here is letter D. Okay, so letter D po ang ating tamang sagot. Tenths place. That would be letter D. So that one right here, no? Right after your decimal point. Right after your decimal point, that's the tenths place. Let's take a look at your next slide. So if you have your decimal point right here, from the decimal point going to your left, okay, of course, you have the ones place, tens place, hundreds place, thousands, then you have 10,000s, you have 100,000s, millions, and 10 millions, and so on. Now, right after your decimal point, wala po tayong yung, if you can see, no, all of those that are after your decimal point would have the TH. Meron po silang TH. So, hindi siya tenths, but tenths. Okay? May TH po sila. Okay? Hindi siya tens pala, but tenths. Okay? Now, right after your decimal point, also very important for you to note, wala po tayong ones. Wala pong one na may TH. Okay? So, wala pong ones, but we start with the tenths. So, that means the first digit after your decimal point, that's already your tenths place. No? So, siya na yung tenths place nyo. Okay, so that means for this question, letter D po ang ating tamang sagot. That is 9. Okay, letter D, that's 9. All right, we go to number 5. What is the quantity 6 times 10 raised to the 0? Multiplied by the quantity 2 times 10 raised to the 0 times the quantity 3 times 10 raised to the 0. Is it letter A, 623? Letter B, 6.23 times 10 raised to the 0. Letter C, 36 times 10 raised to the third power. Or letter D, 36. What's your answer? Okay, good evening po sa inyong lahat. Again, please do share our video, start a watch party, tag your friends, and like our video. Okay, number 5, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? A lot of you are answering letter D. Letter D. Karamihang sagot sa number 5 natin ay letter D. Okay, you have multiplication here now as your operation. And you have several other things involved. Meron ka mga exponents. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 5? Please send me your answers. Okay, mag-send po ng answer for question number 5. What's your answer for question number 5, mga kaibigan, kaguro? Ma'am Cherry Casido, maraming salamat po for sending us your stars. Thank you so much, Ma'am Cherry, for sending 125 stars. Thank you so much po. Again, Ma'am Cherry Casido. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 5? Okay, now again, you have this entire math statement here, math sentence here, no? Now, you have to remember that any number raised to 0, the answer would be 1. Okay, so kahit na 1 million times or raised to 0 yan, 1 million raised to 0, it still would be equal to 1. Okay, so any number raised to 0 equals 1. Okay, so that means if you have this as your math statement, if you have 6 times 10 raised to 1, this is going to be equal to 1. Okay, so this will be equal to 1. This would also be equal to 1. And this here would be equal to 1. So that means that would be equal to the quantity 6 times 1. Okay, so again, 10 raised to 0 equals 1 times the quantity 2 times 1. Kinuha natin again yung 1 from 10 raised to 0 times the quantity 3 times 1. Kinuha natin yung 1 sa 10 raised to 0. Okay, so now we can proceed. Any number multiplied by 1, the answer would be that number itself. Okay, so that means that would just be equal to 6 times 2 times 3. 6 times 2 times 3. 2 times 3, of course, is 6. So that means this would be 6 times 6. That would give us 36. Okay, so sa makatuwid, letter D po ang ating tamang sagot. Okay, so letter D is correct for number 5. Thank you. Ma'am Joy Aligdairit, maraming salamat po for sending us your stars. Thank you so much, Ma'am Joy. Okay, to all our star senders, to all our super chatters, maraming salamat po. All right, we proceed to question number 6. Simplify 4 multiplied by the quantity 2x raised to the second power plus x minus 6 multiplied by the quantity x squared minus 7. What's the answer for number 6? This is still part of math. What do you think is the correct choice for question number 6? Number 6 na po tayo. What's the correct answer for number 6? Again, please don't forget to share our video, to like our video, send us your stars, and your super chat, super stickers. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 6? Excuse me. Okay, a lot of you are answering letter A. Karamihang sagot ay letter A. Letter A. Any other answer? Some are answering letter B. Pero karamihang sagot dito ay letter A. Okay, letter A, may iilang letter B. Okay, going back to your math problem here, no? So this is our equation. Okay, now of course what we do here is we distribute the number outside of your parentheses. Okay, so we are going to have your or perform your distribution here. No, i-distribute mo yung 4. That means you are going to multiply 4 by the numbers, the terms that you have inside your quantity. Okay, so inside your parentheses, we are going to distribute 6 as well here. Okay, so what we have here, 4 multiplied by 2x squared, that would give you 8x squared. Okay, so 4 times 2, that would be 8x squared. Then you have 4 multiplied by positive x, that would give us positive 4x. Now we continue with this part right here. You have negative 6 multiplied by positive x squared. Bakit naging negative 6? Because you have your minus sign right here. Okay, so negative 6 multiplied by positive x squared. Again, remember, if you are multiplying both positive numbers, the answer would be positive. If you are multiplying both negative numbers, the answer would be positive. If you are multiplying two numbers, one with a positive sign, the other with a negative sign, the answer will have a negative sign. Okay, so pag parehas po silang positive, positive yung sagot. Pag parehas po silang negative, negative yung sagot. Pag isa po positive, the other one is negative, yung answer mo would have a negative sign. Okay, so here, you have negative 6 multiplied by x squared. The answer would be negative 6x squared. Okay, minus 6x squared. Then proceeding to the last part of our equation here, you have negative 6 multiplied by negative 7. Okay, and of course, negative multiplied by negative, the answer would be positive. That's plus 42. Okay, now we combine like terms. You have x squared here, you also have x squared here. So po pwede mo silang i-combine. Okay, so you have 8 minus 6. Minus 6 dahil negative po siya, no? So 8 minus 6, that would give you 2x squared. Okay, so you have 2x squared. Again, we got 2 from 8 minus 6. Sila lamang po yung mako-combine natin because sila lamang yung ating like terms. Parehas po yung kanilang x squared dito, no? So this one, your plus 4x, wala na siyang ibang kaparehas. Wala namang ibang may x dito. Kayo, no? Meron kayong x. No? In our equation, wala nang ibang may x. At of course, yung 42, it would also stand alone. Wala din siyang ibang kasama na walang variable, no? And so the correct answer would be letter A. That's 2x squared plus 4x plus 42. And that's the correct answer, okay? Correct answer for question number 6 is letter A. So letter A po ay tama. We go to number 7. Number 7 na po tayo. Mitchell has decided to give his dog a longer leash to roam in the backyard. If the new 7-foot leash is tied to the center pole in the yard, how much area in the yard does the dog have to move around? Now note, use 3.14 for pi. You have the different choices there. What do you think is the correct answer for question number 7? Number 7, ladies and gentlemen, please send me your answer after you have solved for it. Okay, mag-solve po tayo. Huwag po tayong manghula. Okay, so again, please do try to solve for the correct answer for question number 7. This part of math. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 7? Kaway-kaway sa mga walang X, sabi ni Sir Aladdin Calot. Ma'am Jenny Rose Amo Mejarito, maraming salamat po for sending us your stars. Thank you. Kaway-kaway sa mga walang X. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question number 7? Number 7 na po tayo. Ano kaya ang tamang sagot for number 7? Go ahead and send me your answers. And of course, please do solve. No? Try to solve the question. Huwag lamang po tayong manghula. Okay, go ahead. And of course, please do send us your stars, your super chat. Stars if you are watching us on Facebook, and of course, your super chat if you are watching us on YouTube. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot dito? What do you think is the correct answer? Ayun, first timer. First time ko nakadalo ng online review na full-time. Isa kasi ako seminarista at hindi nag-uugma. Hindi nagtutugma yung oras. Hello po, welcome, Sir Young Servant. Okay, pero member din yata ng ating team si Sir Young Servant. Okay, hindi lamang siya nakakadalo sa ating live because hindi nagtutugma ang time. Pinagtagpo pero hindi tinadhana. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 7? Number 7. I see some answers here. Okay, so letter D. Ang kanilang choice, letter D. Okay, let's go back to your question here. So you have Mitchell and he has decided to give his dog, okay, dog, not dog ha, hindi po dog, but dog. He decided to give his dog a longer leash to roam in the backyard, okay, so backyard. If the new 7-foot leash is tied to the center pole in the yard, how much area in the yard does the dog have to move around? And we are going to use 3.14. Okay, we are looking for the area in the yard that the dog can move around. Okay, so that means we are looking for the area of a circle. No, so hinahanap natin area of a circle. Okay, you have the different choices here. Now, again, these are this is your problem, and these right here are the different choices that you have. And we are looking for the area of our circle. Okay, now the formula here would be pi multiplied by radius squared. Okay, so pi radius squared. And of course, radius is the line from the center of your circle going towards any of the sides or at any part of your circle. Wala naman kasing side yung circle, no? And so here, in our case, 7 feet po yung pagitan, no? From any point of your circle to the middle part, no? To the center of your circle, that's 7 feet. Bakit 7 feet? Sabi dito, 7 feet yung haba ng leash, no? So yung haba ng tali is 7 feet and it is tied to the center pole in the yard. So this is the center pole, for example. Okay, so we are looking for the area that the dog can actually travel around. Okay, so lahat ng ito ay parte ng area ng inyong circle. So again, we are going to solve this by multiplying pi times r squared. Okay, so in this case here, we will be using your value of 3.14 for the pi. Okay, so what we do, of course, is we substitute r by 7 feet. That's given in our problem. No, so 3.14 multiplied by 7 feet squared. Okay, so 7 feet, that would be 49 feet squared. And of course, we also multiply these two. The correct answer would be 153.86 squared feet. Okay, so that means letter D is the correct choice here. Okay, so letter D is the correct answer. Kaway-kaway. Sa mga nakakuha ng ating tamang sagot, kaway-kaway. Sa mga hindi naman, okay lang po yan. Bawi po tayo. We proceed with question number 8. Okay, this is still math. What is the volume of a pyramid that has a square base with side lengths of 4.6 meters and a height of 7.2 meters? Round to one decimal place. Is it letter A, 152.4 meter cube? Letter B, 33.1 meter cube. Letter C, 79.5 meter cube. Or letter D, 50.8 meter cube. What do you think is the correct answer for question number 8? Math pa rin po tayo. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Now, again, if you still do not know when your schedule is for the upcoming LET, no, if you are a first taker, no, first time mong mag-take ng LET, first timer mo, that means you will be part of September. Okay, so pag first time mo pong mag-take ng LET, siguradong-sigurado nasa September ka po na schedule. So again, puspusan po tayong mag-review. Huwag na po muna tayong gumamit ng cellphone na hindi sa pagre-review, no? Gumamit ng cellphone sa panonood ng kung ano-ano pinapanood nyo, maaaring sa Netflix, panonood sa TV. Don't waste your time. You only have very limited time to prepare for your upcoming LET. So again, if you are a first timer, no, sa LET, if this is the first time that you will be taking your LET, that means you will be part of the September batch. Okay, so please do continue to review. Mag-review na po kayo. Ma'am Kay Kabuyok, naglabas na po ako ng score for your mid-review 2. Sinend ko po yung inyong score. Please do check in your email address. I-check niyo po sa inyong email ad. Okay, so again, kung first time mo pong mag-take ng LET, sure po, 100% na nasa September ka po na batch. Okay, so again, go ahead and continue reviewing. Okay, so si Sir Young Servant dito may question. Ma'am Mek, may nagsabi sa akin na lahat ng lumalabas dito na tanong sa online review ay tulad ng nasa LET. Totoo po ba? Yes po. Katulad po sa LET. Yung mga questions natin are parallel to the LET. May mga questions na eksakto, no? Eksaktong ganon, no? Because some of our questions came from the feedback of our students. So kung anong mga nakikita ng estudyante natin, tinatanong natin, ano yung mga questions na lumabas? Because of course, we are using this to prepare our future students. No? So sinasabi nila, ito po yung mga tanong na lumabas. If you are a member of our Guru Pinoy teams, meron po tayong nakapost na questions no, galing sa mga previous let takers natin. So yun po yung mga sagot din na dinidiscuss natin sa ating online review. Meron ding ibang hindi parehas, hindi eksaktong ganun yung question, but of course the concept would still be the same. Yung process would still be the same. And so make sure that you are watching our videos. No? Napakarami na po nating videos. In our live stream playlist alone, this is already the 112th video. Okay, so 112th video na po ito. Okay, so again, please do continue watching videos. Mag-review po ng ating videos. Mag-movie marathon ng Guru Pinoy, no? Sir Jesse Sai, Mamek, may na-post na ba ang first batch ng Region 9? Wala pa po. We will update you as soon as we see something posted by the official Facebook page of PRC. We will be sharing them with you. Okay, so make sure that you are following our Facebook page para po makita ninyo kung ano po nakapost. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 8? Iba-iba yung inyong sagot for number 8, no? So again, for number 8 here, we are looking for the volume of a pyramid, okay? Okay, so volume of pyramid, the side lengths are 4.6 meters and the height is 7.2 meters. And sabi dito, round to 1 decimal place. Let's take a look at the next slide here, no? So this is the volume of your pyramid. This right here is your formula. Volume of a pyramid is 1/3 AH, where A is the area and H is the height, no? Area ng inyong square. Okay, so area ng square to multiplied by the height. So here, our side lengths are given or we're given as 4.6 meters. This is based on our problem, no? So based sa ating problem is 4.6 meters and the height is 7.2 meters. Okay, so we can proceed with our equation. That's volume equals 1/3 AH. Again, A is your area and H would be the height. Okay, so getting the area, that would just be 4.6 meters times 4.6 meters. Or po pwede mo din namang i-square, no? Po pwede mong i-multiply yung 4.6 by itself. So that would be V equals 1/3 multiplied by the quantity, 4.6 meters times 4.6 meters. That's one side multiplied by the other side times 7.2 meters. That's the height, okay? Now proceeding, you have 1/3 multiplied by the quantity 152.352 cubed on meters cubed. Okay, that's meter times meter times meter. So that's M raised to the third power, meter raised to the third power. Now, having this equation here, you can simply multiply 1/3 by 152.352, or you can just divide 152.352 by 3. Okay, so proceeding, you have the answer as 50.784 cubic meters. Pero sabi sa ating tanong, you can or you should round your number to the one with only 1 decimal place, no? So the correct answer here would be 50.8 cubic meters. Okay, bakit naging 0.8? Because we are going to round our number to one decimal place, only one decimal place right here. And the number after 7 is more than 5 or more. And so we need to add 1 to 7. Okay, so that means 50.8 cubic meters ang ating tamang sagot. Okay, so that would be letter D. Okay, so letter D po ang ating correct choice. Okay, so letter D is the correct answer for number 8. That's letter D. Okay, go ahead. Okay, sa mga humahabol pa, no? Go lang po, habol. Pwede pa po tayong humabol. Now, we go to number 9. Which step of cellular respiration provides the greatest number of ATP molecules? Is it letter A, pyruvate oxidation, letter B, the citric acid cycle, letter C, the electron transport chain, or letter D, glycolysis? Okay, this is part of biology. Parte siya ng biology. What do you think is the correct choice for number 9? Ma'am Jessel Pepito, sabi ni Ma'am Jessel dito, hi ma'am, pwede po bang sumali? If you'd want to be a member of our Gurong Pinoy teams, mag-send po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page. Okay, po pwede pong after ng ating live stream, ay mag-send po kayo ng message sa ating Facebook page. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 9? We're almost halfway through the 20 items that we are going to discuss tonight. Number 9. Okay, karamihan sagot dito ay letter C. Letter C. All right, going back to the question that we have. Again, the question is, which step of cellular respiration provides the greatest number of ATP molecules? Now, we all know whenever you say ATP, this is adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate po ito. Ito po yung energy that we have in our cells. Okay, so usually the question that you find in the let with regards to this is, which among the following is the energy currency of the cell? And so the answer would be ATP. Pag walang ATP, your answer would be adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so it's adenosine triphosphate. Now, cellular respiration is the process through which ATP molecules are formed in our cell. Cellular respiration is the process through which our cells would gain energy para meron tayong ATP, no, meron tayong battery sa ating cell, and this happens in your mitochondria. Kaya tinatawag yung mitochondria mo na powerhouse of the cell. It is the site of cellular respiration. It is where the making of ATP, the making of energy happens. Okay? Now, your choices here, saan kaya dito na step ang magbibigay sa atin ng greatest number of ATP molecules? Is it letter A, pyruvate oxidation, letter B, the citric acid cycle, letter C, the electron transport chain, or letter D, glycolysis? And the correct choice here is letter C. Tama po yung letter C, the ETC or the electron transport chain. Okay, electron transport chain po ang ating tamang sagot. Now, your cellular respiration is actually the opposite of photosynthesis. Lumalabas po ito sa let. Now, which among the following is a process that is the opposite of your photosynthesis? Magkasalungat po sila. So whatever is the product of your photosynthesis, that becomes the reactant of your mitochondria, and vice versa. Okay? So tingnan po natin yung ating chart dito, no, yung ating illustration. Photosynthesis, of course, happens in plants only. Sa plants lamang po nangyayari yung photosynthesis because only your plants have chloroplast. Okay? That's the site for photosynthesis. On the other hand, cellular respiration or cell respiration happens in all types of organisms. Sa lahat po ng klase ng organisms, meron po tayong cellular respiration. Kahit po yung plants ay merong cellular respiration. Okay, so if there is a question in the let, which among the following processes happen in plant cells? Pag meron kang choices na letter A, photosynthesis only, letter B, cellular respiration only, letter C, both photosynthesis and cellular respiration, letter D, none of this. Your answer would be letter C. Okay, so letter C po ang inyong magiging sagot. Both photosynthesis and cellular respiration happen in your plant cells. Pero your cellular respiration, again, as we've mentioned, this happens in all types of cells, in all types of your organisms, but photosynthesis only happens in your plant cell. Okay, because sila lamang po yung may chloroplast. which is the site for photosynthesis. Now remember, the reactants, what we need for photosynthesis would be light energy, carbon dioxide, and water. And the products of your photosynthesis would be oxygen gas and glucose. Now, gas and glucose, which are the product of your photosynthesis, this becomes the reactant of your it becomes a reactant of your cellular respiration, no? So, kakailanganin ito ng cellular respiration mo. Reactant niya would be oxygen and glucose, and cellular respiration would give you the different products, so following products here: water, carbon dioxide, and of course your chemical energy, which is ATP, okay? So again, your photosynthesis and cellular respiration are opposites. The reactants of your cellular respiration came from the products of your photosynthesis and vice versa. Okay? So again, if you say reactants, ito po yung mga kailangang ingredients, no, yung kailangan yung material so that a chemical process would happen. And of course, when you say products, ito po yung results ng inyong chemical process. So again, kung naging produkto, naging products ng photosynthesis mo is oxygen gas and glucose, ito po yung magiging reactant naman ng inyong cellular respiration. Yung produkto ng inyong cellular respiration, which is carbon dioxide and water, ito naman po yung magiging reactant ng inyong chloroplast for photosynthesis. So again, they are the exact opposites of each other. Now, going to your cellular respiration, these are the different steps, no, the different stages in your cellular respiration. You have glycolysis, the breaking down of your glucose into pyruvate. Now, this right here would only make 2 ATPs. Dalawang ATP lamang yung mapoproduce no, ng inyong glycolysis. Now, you have pyruvate oxidation where your pyruvate is going to be to be reprocessed into your acetyl-CoA. Wala pong production ng ATP dito. Sa inyong pyruvate oxidation, there's no ATP production. Now, going to the next stage, you have your citric acid cycle. This part right here would also produce 2 ATPs. And the correct answer in our question would be your electron transport chain right here, which is part of your oxidative phosphorylation, your ETC, and chemiosmosis, and that would give us 34 ATPs. Okay, remember the question is, which part of cellular respiration would give you the highest amount of ATP? And so your answer would be electron transport chain. Okay, so electron transport chain. Now, as you can see here, you have 2 plus 2 plus 34. That would be a total of 38 ATPs. Pero ang nagiging sagot po, no, if there is a question in the LET, what is the net number of ATP molecules produced during one round of cellular respiration? Your answer will not be 38. Hindi po 38. The answer will be 36 dahil dalawa po sa ating ATP molecules here would be used in the process. Okay? So gagamitin po yung dalawang ATP molecules dito sa process, and so the net number of ATP molecules produced would just be 36. Okay? So 36 na lamang po yung neto nating ATP molecules. Okay? So that's also a common question in the lab. Make sure that you know the correct answer. Okay, now we go to number 10. What is produced from the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis that are used in the dark reactions? Is it letter A, water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide? Letter B, NADPH, ATP, and oxygen? Letter C, electrons and photons? Or letter D, NADPH and ATP? What's the correct choice for question 10? What do you think is the correct answer for question number 10? Again, please do like our video, start a watch party, tag your friends, share this video, and of course, send us your stars whenever you are. If you are watching us on Facebook, mag-send po ng inyong stars. If you are watching us on YouTube, then please send us your super chat, super stickers. Thank you so much. Okay, some more answers, please. Maraming salamat, Sir Suden Jason Vang, for tagging your friends. Thank you so much po. All right, some more answers, please. Again, please do send us your stars. We still are not halfway through our stars goal of 5,000 stars. Okay, hindi pa po tayo nangangalahati. So please do send us your stars. Okay, a lot of you are answering letter D for this item here. Number 10, karaming sagot ay letter D. Letter D. Ma'am Joy Daidiet, maraming salamat not only for the stars, but also for your super sticker. Thank you po. Okay, number 10. What is produced from the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis that are used in the dark reactions? The correct answer here would be letter D. Okay, so letter D po, that's NADPH and ATP. Let's take a look at your next slide. Okay, so again, number 10, letter D, ang ating tamang sagot. Now, this is the complete equation, no? This is the balance equation of photosynthesis. So again, as we've mentioned, the reactants for photosynthesis would be carbon dioxide, then you have water, and of course, you have sunlight. Napaka-importante. Sunlight here is gathered by your chlorophyll, the green pigment in your chloroplast. Then, of course, the products are glucose, that's your sugar, that's your carbohydrate, and oxygen gas. Now, common questions with regard to this, no? If you will be asked for the balanced chemical equation for photosynthesis, please don't forget that there's going to be a base number or coefficient of 6 here, 6 here, and also 6 here. Okay, so that would make your photosynthesis equation balanced. Pag hinanapan kayo ng balanced equation of photosynthesis, make sure that you have the different coefficients here. No? So 6, and 6 and 6 right here. Okay, so that makes it balanced. Now, also another common question, yung common question dito, where does the oxygen atoms as product of your photosynthesis come from? Okay, so yung question na, saan nanggaling yung oxygen atoms mo dito, no? Sa inyong oxygen gas, saan nanggaling yung oxygen atoms mo? Your answer there would be water. Okay, so galing siya sa tubig. Galing sa tubig yung O, as in your oxygen atom in your oxygen gas here. Another common question would be, the LET might also ask you for the reactants and the products. So again, make sure that you know which ones are the reactants. Ang reactants mo, kailangan mo for photosynthesis would be carbon dioxide, water, and also don't forget sunlight. Okay, so kailangan din yung sunlight. These are 3 of your reactants. And of course, your products would be glucose. Pag walang glucose, that would also be your sugar. So sugar din po siya. Pag walang sugar, po pwede din carbohydrate. Okay, so po pwede din siya. Then of course, oxygen gas. Another common question in the LET, which among the following is the most important product of photosynthesis? The most important product would be glucose. Okay, so glucose po ang most important product of photosynthesis. Oxygen gas is a waste product. Okay, waste product lamang siya. Byproduct siya. Why? Because hindi siya ginagamit ng plants mo, no? Not all of these are going to be used by your plants. So eventually, most of your oxygen gas would be given off to your air. Okay, given off to your atmosphere. Ito naman, of course, is the oxygen gas that we use for cellular respiration and the oxygen gas that we breathe in. Okay, but then again, your most important product in photosynthesis would be glucose. Okay, so that's the equation for photosynthesis. Now, going back to the process of photosynthesis, hindi lamang siya simpleng ganito, no? Hindi lamang siya simple chemical equation. Your photosynthesis actually has 2 different reactions. One of them is called your light reaction. The other is called your dark reaction. Now, light reaction yung tawag sa isa dahil it happens only in the presence of light. Okay, so mangyayari lamang siya if there is light. It will not happen, it will not occur if there is no sunlight or if there's no artificial light, no? Pag walang sun, for example, if it's winter time at meron kang artificial light, po pwede din naman. Okay, so light here is very important. Hence, it is called light reaction because it only happens in the presence of light. Your dark reaction here can happen even without light. Okay, tinawag siyang dark reaction dahil po pwede pa rin siyang maganap. It can still occur even without the presence of light. Bakit? We will answer that in just a few minutes. Okay, so again, you have your light reaction, dark reaction. Also differences here. Your light reaction happens in your thylakoid. Okay? Yung thylakoid mo kasi these are the stacks of your grana. Okay? So ito yung isang ganyan mo, isang oval dito na that contain your chlorophyll. You'd call that your granum. Okay, then of course several granum, you'd call that your grana. A stack of your grana, you'd call that your thylakoid. Okay, so light reaction happens in the thylakoid. That's the stack of your grana that happens or that is found inside your chloroplast. Now, on the other hand, dark reaction here happens in the stroma. Stroma is para siyang cytoplasm ng inyong chloroplast. Okay, so this right here, the entire thing is your chloroplast. Now, in your light reaction stage, what happens is that water is converted into oxygen gas. So if you can remember, sabi ko kanina, isa sa mga common lab questions dito, saan galing yung oxygen gas na napoproduce ng photosynthesis nyo? And so I told you the answer would be water. Okay? And this happens during the light reaction stage of your photosynthesis. Okay? So water is processed and it gives us your oxygen gas. Okay, now aside from oxygen gas, some other products here of your light reaction would be ATP and NADPH. Okay, so meron ka ding ATP and NADPH. Now, ito yung pinaka-importanting molecules kung bakit yung dark reaction mo pwede siyang maganap even without the presence of light. Kasi yung significance yung ng light mo dito, this would only be a source of energy. Okay? Kailangan siya ng inyong photosynthesis as source of energy. And so your light reaction cannot start if there is no source of energy. In this case here, it's the sunlight. Now, ang dark reaction mo, it can actually happen even without light, even without sunlight, because it uses ATP and NADPH as its sources of energy. Ito yung nagiging source ng energy niya. So kahit na walang light direktang light, no, pwede siyang gumana yung inyong dark reaction dahil yung ginagamit niyang energy would be ATP and NADPH. Remember, ATP is the energy currency of the cell, no? Sa ATP mo, the concentration of your energy would be in your phosphate group. Okay? In your NADPH, the concentration of energy would be in your hydrogen atom. Okay, so again, your ATP and your NADPH are going to be used by your dark reaction as their energy source. In your dark reaction, what happens is that carbon dioxide is processed and it would give us sugar. Okay, so sugar naman yung pinoproduce sa inyong dark reaction. Well, in your light reaction, what is produced is your oxygen gas. Now, since nagamit na yung energy ng ATP at yung NADPH mo dito, what happens is that your ATP is now converted into ADP, adenosine diphosphate na lamang siya. Now, it has less energy. And your NADPH is going to be converted into NADP, okay, with a positive sign. That means it has lost its hydrogen atom here, which is also the one that is concentrated with energy. And so what happens is that your ADP and NADP would have to go back to your light reaction so that they can harness more energy, so that they can go back to their forms as ATP and NADPH, so that they can give fuel to your dark reaction and so that the process would go on. Okay? So napaka-importante that there's light for your light reaction stage to happen. In your light reaction stage, water is processed to give us oxygen gas. It also produces your ATP, or it also produces ATP and NADPH. These two molecules will be used by your dark reaction as their fuel. And so dark reaction is called dark reaction because it does not need light. Okay? It can continue even without the presence of light because it uses ATP and NADPH as its sources of energy. Okay? Now, once energy is consumed here, ATP is reduced to just ADP, and NADPH is reduced to just NADP, and so they have to go back to your light reaction stage to harness more energy to go back to their ATP and NADPH form again. In your dark reaction, carbon dioxide is processed to give us sugar, which is your C6H12O6, your glucose. Okay, so these are the two different parts of your photosynthesis. But the correct answer there in our question number 10 would be letter D, NADPH and ATP. Okay? If you have questions, please put that in your chat box. All right, number 11, still science. How does deforestation disrupt the water cycle? You have the different choices there. What do you think is the correct choice? Please send me your answers for number 11. Number 11 na po tayo. What do you think is the correct answer? What do you think is the correct choice for question number 11? Okay, we have a message here from President, no? Bawi na lang daw si President. Sabi niya, di ako makapag-send ng stars, ma'am, and super sticker. Hindi makalabas dito sa hotel. Bawal, highs. Bawi next time, Ma'am Mek. Maraming salamat, President. Naka-quarantine ba si President? Or busy lamang, may event yata sa isang hotel? Okay, maraming salamat po. For those of you who have already sent us your stars and super stickers, please do send us your stars. We are not halfway yet through our stars goal. Mag-send na po kayo ng inyong stars. And of course, sa ating mga super chatters, no? Sa mga nagsisend ng kanilang super stickers, maraming salamat po. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question 11? 11 na po tayo. Number 11. What is the correct choice for question 11? Number 11. Please send me your answer for question number 11. Number 11 po tayo. Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for number 11? Okay, so this is still part of your science. Science pa rin yung number 11 natin. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 11? Please send us your answers for number 11. Sir Jasper Flores, maraming salamat po for sending us your stars. Thank you so much, Sir Jasper. Okay, may event daw si President, no? May event sa hotel, hindi makalabas dahil madaming COVID patients. Okay? Ingat po tayo, ha? Ingat po tayo dyan. Thank you so much din po, Ma'am Fag-Ayan Arlene, for sending us your stars. Again, to all our super chatters and star senders, maraming salamat po. Thank you so much for all the super chatters, super star senders. Thank you so much to all of you. Okay, number 11. How does deforestation disrupt the water cycle? Now, the term here is deforestation. Now, don't confuse this with the other term, which is reforestation. Meron din po kasi tayong reforestation. Now, pag sinabi mong reforestation, this is the replanting of trees, no? You are replanting trees. That's reforestation. Pero dito, this is deforestation. Deforestation, this means you are cutting down trees, no? The wanton cutting down of trees. Ito yung tinatawag nating illegal logging. So how can this disrupt the water cycle? Okay, is it letter A? Live trees hold water, and when they are removed, they release excess water vapor into the atmosphere, leading to weather changes. Letter B, when trees decompose, they absorb water and diminish water within the water cycle. Letter C, when trees are removed, the soil traps more water, diminishing water bodies such as lakes and streams. When trees are removed, they cannot pull water out of the ground and return it to the atmosphere. Okay? Correct answer here would be letter A. Okay? Tingnan muna natin yung ibang choices natin. Bakit mali? In here, letter B, when trees decompose, that means your trees are dead, they absorb water and diminish water within the water cycle. This is wrong. Hindi na sila makaka-absorb ng tubig dahil patay na ang inyong trees. Okay? Because they are decomposed. When trees are removed, okay, so similar din, no? Pag kinuha mo yung trees mo, the soil traps more water. This is the opposite, no? The soil cannot trap more water if there is no tree. Okay? Remember, yung tree mo kasi yung nagsisip ng water from your soil. And so, your soil can hold less water if there is no tree. Okay? Kaya, pag nag-illegal logging ka, mabilis your flash flood, no? Mabilis yung flash flood dahil yung inyong soil cannot absorb, your soil cannot hold a lot of water because your trees cannot absorb na, your trees do not sip your water anymore because of course there are no trees to do that. Okay, so this right here is the wrong part. When trees are removed, they cannot pull water out of the ground and return it to the atmosphere. Although it is correct that they cannot pull water out of the ground, it is not only the action of the trees that water is removed. Okay? So hindi lamang yung trees yung nagbabalik ng tubig no, sa atmosphere. There's also what we call evaporation. Okay? But here, letter A is the correct choice dahil sabi dito, live trees hold water and when they are removed, they release excess water vapor into the atmosphere, leading to weather changes. It actually is a disruption of your water cycle. Yung nagiging pinakamalaking effect niya is the disruption of your water cycle and the disruption in the different weather patterns that we have. Okay, so this right here is letter A. That's the correct choice. And here is your water cycle. You remember this? This is also part of your elementary grade level din, no? And also in your biology when you had biology in high school. Okay, so remember you have the different forms of water on the ground. Meron kang iba't ibang samot-saring bodies of water on the ground. There are two ways through which water is transported back to the atmosphere. Pwede pong through evaporation, no? Through the action of your sun. Pwedeng evaporation from oceans, lakes, and streams. Pwede din namang transpiration. Transpiration is the process through which water molecules leave your plants. Okay, so this is through the stomata. Remember, may stomata yung inyong leaves ng plants and dyan lumalabas yung inyong tubig. So that's through transpiration. So these are the two different processes that would give the water back to the atmosphere. Lumalabas po ito sa leta. What are the two different processes that give off water to your atmosphere? The correct answer would be evaporation and transpiration. Transpiration is nangyayari sa plants. Okay, so water molecules here escaped from the stomata of your plants. Now, when water molecules go to the atmosphere, they of course evaporate. Now, so evaporate, they transpire, and eventually they are going to condense. Remember, condensation is the opposite of evaporation. Sa evaporation mo, liquid becomes gas. Okay, sa inyong condensation, gas becomes liquid. Okay, so gas becomes liquid. Your gas here is your water vapor, and it eventually would become or would go back to its liquid form. Sometimes hindi siya liquid form, no? Pag snow, pag hail, yung ice mo, hindi naman siya liquid, no? Sometimes semi-liquid, sometimes is solid form. Pag hail, malalaking ice na, no? Yung bumalik sa ating ground. So again, we call this precipitation na yung tawag natin. There are different forms of precipitation. Yung pinaka-common, of course, especially sa Pilipinas would be rain. Meron din tayong snow, there's hail. No? So these are also some other forms of precipitation. So this is when water molecules would already go back to the surface of the earth. Okay, through your precipitation. Eventually, your water would have surface runoff, yung dumadaloy siya sa surface ng earth. Pwede siyang nandyan lamang sa ibabaw ng lupa. Once it has already gotten inside or into the layers of the earth, then you'd call that the groundwater. Okay, so groundwater na siya. Surface runoff. So pag walang maraming puno dito that would allow the soil to hold more water molecules, what would happen is that there's going to be a lot of surface runoff that would also cause your flash flood. Okay, so napaka-importante that we don't easily cut our trees that we do tree planting, no? Dati sa amin, sa Iloilo dati, hindi ka pwedeng ikasal hanggat hindi ka nagti-tree planting. Hindi ko lang alam ngayon kung meron pa, no? So it's very important that we plant trees. Of course, we know that cellular respiration is the opposite of photosynthesis. So we cannot actually survive without plants. Hindi tayo po pwedeng makasurvive, hindi tayo makakasurvive na walang plants because they give us the oxygen that we breathe in. Okay, so if you're a plantito, plantita, mabuhay ka, no? Maraming salamat sa iyong ginagawa. That is very good to our environment. That's also very good to us as humans. So that's our source of oxygen. And of course, it's also going to be very good if it can help you in your mental health, no? Distress din kasi siya, nakakawala ng stress pag nakikita mo yung plants mo because green, the color green actually makes you feel refreshed, makes you feel relaxed. Kaya nga yung blackboard, no? Blackboard yung tawag sa kanya because before blackboard yung color ng board is black, okay? Pero ngayon, karamihan ng blackboard natin is color green na because of course they have found out that green makes you feel relaxed. Green, the color green makes you feel less stressed. And so green na ngayon yung gamit nila sa blackboard, no? Kaya lang blackboard pa rin yung tawag because of course na-stuck na yung term na blackboard. Okay? Pero green na yung gamit. So if you are feeling dizzy, for example, you just have to look at something green. So pwedeng lumabas ka sa bahay at tingnan mo yung mga puno. If you are traveling at medyo nahihilo ka na, no? Meron kang car sickness, pwede kang tumingin sa labas, tingnan mo yung mga puno, no? Wag lamang green-minded, no? Something green. Like puno, yung mga halaman nyo, hindi yung green mind, okay? So this is your water cycle, but then again, your correct answer here would be for number 11, that's letter A. Okay, so letter A po yung ating tamang sagot. Okay, number 12. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang isang epiko ng mga ifugao? This is part of Filipino. Letter A, Ibalon at Aslon. Letter B, Hudhod. Letter C, Haraya. Or letter D, Biag Nilamang. Maraming salamat, Sir Nap Lumugdang II. Maraming salamat po for sending us your stars. Thank you, Sir Nap. Okay, meron pa akong nakita. Sir Jason Atuan Malana. Maraming salamat. Thank you po for sending us your stars. Maraming salamat again to all our super chatters, to all our star senders. Thank you so much for supporting Guru Pinoy. And of course, to all our supporters, no, sa ating mga monthly supporters, I'll be sending you more materials after this live stream. Okay, maraming salamat to all our supporters, to all our star senders. Thank you so much. Ma'am Maria Lucy Scarlett, maraming salamat po for sending us your stars. And also for being one of the supporters of Guru Pinoy. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for question 12? This is Filipino. Filipino na po tayo. Ano kaya ang tamang sagot? Number 12, going back to this number here, alin sa mga sumusunod ang isang epiko ng mga ifugao? Is it Ibalon at Aslon? Letter B, Hudhod. Letter C, Haraya. Or letter D, Biag Nilamang? The correct answer here, of course, would be letter B, Hudhod. Okay, so Hudhod po ang epiko ng mga ifugao. Let's take a look at the rest of your choices here. Yung Ibalon at Aslon, this is epiko ng mga Bicolano. Okay, so epiko ng mga Bicolano, ang Ibalon at Aslon. Ibalon or Ibalon at Aslon, no? So that's Bicolano. Haraya ay epiko ng mga Bisaya, no? So sa Iloilo, Haraya ang tawag sa aming epiko. And of course, Biag Nilamang, ito ay epiko ng mga Ilocano. Okay, so Ilocano. We are looking for epiko ng mga Ifugao. And so the correct answer there would be Hudhod. Again, if you are a member of our Guru Pinoy teams, you'll see this PowerPoint presentation after this. Okay, so after this live stream, so you don't really need to copy, no? Hindi nyo kailangan kumopya ng kung anumang notes na meron tayo dito. Okay, 13. In the short run, there tends to be a trade-off between blank and blank. What's the answer? This is part of economics. Letter A, supply and demand. Letter B, small businesses and large corporations. Letter C, inflation and unemployment. Or letter D, unemployment benefits and the Federal Reserve. What's the answer? Ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 13? Maraming salamat, Sir Jeffrey Mora, for sending us 100 super sticker. Maraming salamat po to all our super stickers and super chatters. Thank you so much. Again, please do send us your stars and super chat. Please do support Gurong Pinoy. Okay, a lot of you are answering letter C. For question 13, letter C. Karamihang sagot dito ay letter C. Again, a lot of you are answering letter C. We will look at the correct answer in just a few seconds. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 13? 13 na po tayo. Thank you, Sir Nino Vincent Rojo, for sending us your stars. Maraming salamat, Sir Nino, for supporting Gurong Pinoy by sending us your stars. Okay, going back to the question that we have here, the question is, okay, yung question natin dito, in the short run, there tends to be a trade-off between blank and blank. The correct answer here is letter C, inflation and unemployment. Now, when you say trade-off, that means you cannot have both of them at the same time, okay? You cannot have both of them at the same time. Your supply and demand, there is no trade-off between them. You can always have your supply and your demand at the same time. Small businesses and large corporations, you can have both of them at the same time. Unemployment benefits and Federal Reserve, you can have both of them at the same time. No? Yung dito sa Amerika, alam niyo po ba, pag nawalan ka ng trabaho, pag finire ka ng boss mo, no, nawalan ka ng trabaho dahil hindi mo naman kasalanan, for example, nung nag-close yung maraming companies dito, especially yung mga non-essential, no, yung na-close sila during the pandemic, kahit yung ibang restaurants na nag-temporarily close during the pandemic ay meron po silang unemployment benefits. Alam niyo po ba kung magkano? Kung wala kang trabaho dahil na-fire ka, dahil na-lay off ka, no, dahil hindi mo naman kasalanan, kung ganun din yung mga nangyari sa Pinas, di ba? Maraming na-lay off dahil sa pandemic. Dito sa Amerika, meron silang tinatanggap na $700 per week. Okay, $700 per week. Kapag na-lay off ka na hindi mo kasalanan, finire ka ng boss mo, or na-close yung company nyo dahil nga sa pandemic or for whatever reason, pag nag-file ng bankruptcy, yung company mo, no, meron ka pong matatanggap. So during the pandemic, yung natanggap nila is $700 per week. And so if you are going to multiply that by, sabihin mong 50 by 50 pesos, no, that's 350,000 pesos. Okay, so no, 350, tama ba? 700, what's 700 times 50? Okay, so that's 35,000 pala. Okay, so 35,000 po yung kanilang natanggap per week, no? Per week. That's their unemployment benefits. Okay, but here for number 13, the correct answer here would be a trade-off between inflation and unemployment. We all know what inflation is, no? Alam natin kung ano yung inflation. Inflation is when there is a rise in the prices, no? The prices of commodities sobrang taas, katulad ng mga nangyayari sa Pilipinas, no? May inflation. Lahat ng bagay, no? Lahat ng pagkain, lahat ng items sa Pinas ay tumaas yung presyo. That will be called inflation and unemployment. Now, this right here is a concept in economics which we call the Phillips curve. Okay, so ito yung tinatawag na Phillips curve. In the 1950s, A.W. Phillips plotted decades worth of data on wage inflation and unemployment. He noticed an inverse relationship between these two indicators. Okay, so if there's lower unemployment, it is associated with higher inflation. Meanwhile, he saw higher unemployment was associated with lower inflation. Okay, so lower inflation, that's higher unemployment. Okay, so pag mababa yung presyo ng mga bilihin, higher din yung unemployment. That means maraming hindi nagtatrabaho dahil pwede mo namang bilhin ang kung anong kailangan mo, no, para mabuhay, kung anong kailangan mong bilhin, ay pwede mong bilhin dahil mababa lang naman yung presyo. And so because of that, there's higher unemployment. Maraming hindi nagtatrabaho. Now, pag tumaas yung presyo ng mga bagay-bagay, ng mga bilihin, there's lower unemployment, no? So they have to work. They really have to work para magkaroon ng pera, sapat na pera para bumili ng mga mamahaling bagay na nga, no? Kahit na commodities, yung common things that we buy ay naging mahal, okay? So that's what we call the Phillips curve. There is a trade-off between inflation and unemployment. And so letter C ang ating tamang sagot for number 13. Now we go to number 14. Which of the following demonstrates proper capitalization? You have the different choices there. What do you think is the correct choice for number 14? Oy, ayan. Diyan daw sa Pilipinas, sabi ni Ma'am Karen Tisado, yung SAP nga, pahirapan ibigay. Sabi ni Ma'am Tin, wala kaming natanggap kahit na first tranche. Okay, so walang natanggap, no? Same, Ma'am Tin, sabi ni Ma'am Karen Tisado. Okay, so dito kaya medyo may pagkabatugan yung iba dito, no? Ang iba sa kanila, hindi na nagtatrabaho dahil meron silang unemployment benefits. So okay lang hindi magtrabaho, meron namang kita. Okay, meron pa rin kita kahit hindi sila nagtatrabaho. At meron din ditong benefits for child, no? So marami dito, maraming anak. Dahil katulad ngayong may pandemic, kada buwan ay merong $300 kada anak. Okay, so kada anak. So kung meron kang 4 na anak, 1,200 per month yan. $1,200 per month. Okay, so that's 60,000 pesos. Okay, so marami silang mag-anak dito dahil maraming benefits. Tapos pag nag-aral yung anak mo, syempre sa basic ed, no, libre lahat. Merong school bus, merong pagkain. Okay, kahit summer may pagkain po yung bata. Okay, what do you think is the correct choice? May question dito si Ma'am K. Kabuyok. Ma'am, paano po final coaching? What to expect? We will update you po. So that would happen for the entire month of September. Okay, so magiging sa September po yan and we are going to update you. Hindi pa po namin na-finalize yung inyong schedule. But don't worry, your final coaching is going to be libre for our Gurong Pinoy team members. Okay. A lot of you are answering letter A, and letter A here is the correct choice. Okay, so we're looking for proper capitalization. Of course, Rachel, this is a proper noun, and so this should be capitalized. Rachel went to the store and bought milk, period. She returned to the store later in the day because she forgot to purchase cheese. Okay, so letter A here is the correct choice. This is wrong because Rachel is not capitalized. Rachel is not capitalized, and here she is not capitalized. Okay, so letter A is the correct choice. Now we go to number 15. When quotation marks are involved, which of the following demonstrates the correct usage of a comma? Is it letter A? Okay, I will not read because they are all the same sentences. Which one do you think is the correct answer? Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot for question number 15? Ma'am Kathleen Joy, meron siyang tanong. Ma'am, ask lang po, yung sa March 2020 po na na-postponed, anong batch po? Manila area po, TY. Again, we are going to update you as soon as we get an update from the PRC. So again, please make sure that you are following our Facebook page because we post it on our Facebook page. Thank you so much, Ma'am Minnie Guzman, for sending us your super sticker. Maraming salamat po, Ma'am Minnie. And of course, also thank you for being one of our supporters. Okay, please do send us your stars, your super chat. Maraming salamat po for those of you who are sending us your stars and super chat, super stickers. Okay, karamihang sagot dito ay letter C, letter C. Okay, sabi ni Ma'am Kay Kabuyok, letter C. And letter C here is the correct choice, okay? So when you write your comma, when you have your quotation mark, the comma should be inside your quotation mark. Dapat nasa loob pa siya ng quotation mark. Hindi po siya sa labas, no? Not after your quotation mark, but it should be before your quotation mark, no? So nasa loob siya ng quotation mark, okay? So that's your number 15, letter C. Now we go to number 16. I was so excited I could feel my feet lifting off of the ground. This is an example of which of the following? Is it letter A, personification, letter B, metaphor, letter C, hyperbole, or letter D, alliteration? What's the answer for 16? 16 na po tayo. What do you think is the correct answer? Again, please do send us your stars and your super chat, super stickers. Maraming salamat po. May tanong dito si Sir Blue. Pag nawala po ma'am yung NOAA, anong proseso? Please do call PRC, no? Hindi ko alam kung anong, meron silang sa kanilang website, po pwede din pong email or call them. Okay, kung ano po yung magiging proseso ninyo, kung hanapin lamang ba nila yung number at i-issue kayo ng panibagong NOAA. Most probably, meron pong letter, no? Meron pong affidavit. So, please do ask them po, Sir Blue, tumawag po or mag-email as soon as you can. Okay, letter C. Again, of course, letter C, that is the correct choice. Okay, letter C po, ang tamang sagot, hyperbole. That is the correct answer. No? Pagmamalabis, exaggeration. Okay, so number 16, I was so excited I could feel my feet lifting off of the ground. Correct answer, of course, would be hyperbole. Now, you all know what metaphor is. Metaphor is like your simile, but without using as and like. Wala naman tayong kino-compare dito. So, metaphor cannot be your answer. Personification is when you are giving qualities of a person or human-like qualities to something that is not human. Okay, so this right here is not personification. Alliteration, on the other hand, is when you have the same beginning sounds. Okay, at the beginning of the words that are adjacent in your sentence. Say you have she sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, so that's an alliteration. Pare-parehas yung beginning sounds ng inyong words. Okay, but here, letter C, hyperbole, is the correct choice. Now we go to number 17. You are riding your scooter, this is math, to a town that is 120 miles away, and you can maintain a speed of 30 mph. How long will it take you? Is it letter A, 4 hours, letter B, 360 hours, letter C, 1/4 hour, or letter D, 3 hours? Okay, now number 17 natin dito. This is part of math. Now, meron tayong message dito from Sir Joel Montalba. Punta lang po sa PRC. Nawala din po kasi NOAA ko. Binigyan din po nila ako ng another copy. So that's good news for Sir Blue. Ganun din po sa ibang nawala ng NOAA. No, please do keep your NOAAs properly. Itago po, no, na maigi. Napaka-importante po ng inyong NOAA. That will be asked from you, no, during the day of your examination. So sabi dito ni Sir Joel, maraming salamat po Sir Joel, punta lamang daw po sa PRC at bibigyan po kayo nila ng panibagong kopya. Okay, so they're quite lenient, no? Medyo may leniency sila ngayon dahil pandemic nga, mahirap yung buhay. So hindi masyadong stricto yung PRC. So punta lang daw po sa PRC, Sir Blue. A lot of you are answering letter A for question number 17. 17, karamihang sagot dito ay letter A, letter A. Okay, now this right here is a question with regard to distance, speed, and time. Now, speed problem siya actually. Now, whenever you have a question such as this, all you need to do is use this pyramid. Meron tayong pyramid dito with D on top, then you have S and T on the bottom. Now, if you are looking for speed, simply cover S. If you're looking for speed, just cover S, and that would give you distance over time. Okay, so distance divided by time. If you are looking for distance, just cover D, and that would give you S times naman ito, no? S times time. That's your distance. If you are looking for time, you just cover T, and that would give you the formula distance divided by speed. Okay, so distance over speed, or distance divided by speed. Now, going back to the question that we have here, you're riding your scooter to a town that is 120 miles away. This right here, of course, is your distance. Okay, 120 miles away. You can maintain a speed, that's your speed, of 30 miles per hour. How long will it take you? How long will it take you? So that means we're looking for time. Okay, so looking at your little pyramid here, time, cover T, that's distance over speed. And so time here would be distance divided by speed. Distance is 120 miles divided by speed of 30 mph. You can cancel both the zeros here. That's 12 divided by 3. And that will give you 4, of course. And you can cancel miles and miles. And that would leave you the unit of hours. So letter A for hours is our correct choice for number 17. 17, correct answer, letter A. We go to number 18. This is still math. A violin you want to buy costs you $4,254 at full retail price. However, it goes on sale for 65% off. How much do you end up saving if you buy the violin while it is on sale instead of buying it at full price? Is it letter A, 2,765.10, letter B, 3,234.50, letter C, 1,235.67, or letter D, 1,488.90? What do you think is the correct choice? Maraming salamat for your positive feedback, Sir G.R. Lintogonan. He says, thanks, Mamek. Sulit talaga review namin. Maraming salamat po. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for 18? We're almost done with our 20 item tonight. Okay, what do you think is the correct choice for number 18? 18 na po tayo. Now, don't forget, tomorrow we are going to have another live stream, and that would be some items, 20 items from your mid-review 2, 20 items from your mid-review 2 professional education. Okay, so wag pong mawawala, we start at 6 p.m. And of course, those of you who are members of Gurong Pinoy teams, you will be able to answer its quizzes starting at 6 p.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m., no, 7 a.m. Nandiyan na po ang inyong quizzes. Pwede niyong sagutan. And of course, we are going to discuss that at 6 p.m. Philippine time. Okay, what do you think is the correct choice? Correct choice po tayo. Which one is the correct answer? For number 18. Okay, number 18 po tayo. Your violin na gustong-gusto mong bilhin is priced at $4,254 at full retail price. No? Ngayon, 65% off siya. So how much are you going to end up saving? Magkano yung savings mo? That means your savings would be the 65% na off. Ito yung off, no? Ito yung ibabawas sa 4,254. So sa makatuwid, kukunin lamang natin yung 65% ng 4,254. Okay? So we get 65% of $4,254. And so your math equation would be 0.65. We've turned the 65% here, your rate, into decimal form, no? So inalis natin yung sign, yung percentage sign. And of course, we also move the decimal point 2 times to the left. So you have 0.65 of, again, in math, of here is times of $4,254, and is, of course, would be equals. Okay, so that's an equal sign. So that's 0.65 times 4,254. Correct answer would be $2,765.10. So that's letter A. So that's your savings. Okay, that will be your savings. $2,765.10. Okay, so that's question number 18, letter A. 19, which of the following is the metric unit for mass? Which one is the metric unit for mass? Is it letter A, seconds, letter B, pounds, letter C, kilograms, or letter D, ounces? What do you think is the correct answer? Sir Young Servant, may question siya. Available pa po ba exam ng mid-review 2 for Prof Ed? Her mid-review 2 po is already closed. Naka-close na po yung mid-review 2 nyo. Again, I'm going to send you the copy of your mid-review 2, including your answer key, after this weekend, because we are still going to discuss the 20 items for Prof Ed tomorrow. Okay, so magkakaroon po kayo ng kopya ng inyong mid-review 2. And of course, the 20 items tomorrow, that would be part of your quizzes, nanggaling din po sa inyong mid-review 2. Yung quizzes nyo would be available at 7 a.m. Philippine time. Of course, we are going to talk about it, to discuss the different items there at 6 p.m. Philippine time. Okay, 19, karamihang sagot ay letter C, letter C. Okay, now we are looking for the metric unit. Now, yung metric unit mo dito, dalawa lang naman yung metric unit mo dito, seconds and kilograms. Pounds and ounces are not metric. Hindi po sila metric, no? Hindi sila kasama ng metric system mo. And so here, again, we are looking for the metric unit for mass. Hence, the answer would be kilograms. Okay, so kilograms, of course. Seconds mo, that's a metric unit for time. And so that's not our answer. Kilograms po ang tamang sagot dito. Okay, number 20, last item for tonight. What color of visible light does chlorophyll reflect? Is it letter A, red, letter B, green, letter C, blue, or letter D, violet? What's the answer for the last item that we have? Last item, unang-una si Ma'am Shelby May Shakor, letter B, sabi ni Ma'am Shelby. Okay, letter B. Alright, karamihang sagot ninyo ay letter B. And of course, wag na nating patagalin pa. Letter B is the correct choice here. Okay, so that's the visible light. That is the color that we see because that is the light which is reflected. So anything, whatever light is reflected, that is the light that we see. Okay, so in this case here, we see plants leaves as color green. That this is one common question in the let, no? Why do we see the leaves of our plants as green? Bakit green? Pag tinitingnan mo yung plants mo, bakit kulay green yung leaves niya? It is because green is the color that is reflected by the leaves. Okay, so that's the visible light that is reflected. That's color green. So letter B, green, that is the correct choice, and that of course ends our discussion tonight. This would all go straight to our Gurong Pinoy teams. And please join me in our closing prayer. Okay.
Muli po tayong manalangin. Our great God, salamat po sa oras po na ito na ibinigay mo sa amin na naging matagumpay po ang aming pag-aaral. Sana po marami po kaming mga natutunan, O Diyos. Sana po ipatuloy mo po kaming pagpalain sa mga plano po namin, Panginoon. Ikaw po ang aming dakilang pastol at ikaw po yung naghahanda ng lugar para sa amin. Sana po ay maganap na po ang mga ninanais po ng aming mga puso. Alam mo po yung mga pagsisikap namin, mga sacrifices namin para matupad po ang mga pangarap po namin na ito. Sana po sa lahat po ng mga member ng Gurong Pinoy International, sana po ipagpalain mo. Lalo po, Panginoon, na malapit na po ang exam. Patibayin mo po ang aming loob, palakasin niyo po ang aming damdamin, Panginoon, na hindi po kami matakot. Sa halip, mas lalo po kaming maghanda, Panginoon. Salamat po sa sakripisyo ni Ma'am Mek at ni Sir Ram para po sa bawat isa sa amin. Panginoon, salamat po sa lahat at ibinibigay po namin lahat yung mga concern namin sa inyo. Sa pangalan ni Jesus, ito po ang mga aming dalangin. Amen.
Amen. All right, so that ends tonight's discussion. Again, we are going to see each other at 6 p.m. tomorrow night for the discussion of 20 item Prof Ed, no, professional education as part of your mid-review part 2. Again, if you are still not a member of any of our Gurong Pinoy teams, please do become a member so that you can get a copy of all the materials that we're using so that you may be able to answer all the major exams, also the quizzes that we have, and also you'd be able to join our final coaching for free. This has been Coach Mek of Gurong Pinoy, and of course, I leave you the saying, malit man na butil ng mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginawaan. Maraming salamat! Good night mga kaguro! Sleep well!